This tank is the T-50-2. I believe it's a Russian Tier 6 light tank, and the map is Ghost Town, and it may also be referred to as Lost City. I'm going to get 7,800 spotting damage in this game. This is a Tier 6 tank, and I'm going to get 7,800 spotting damage. I'm also going to get 1,500 EXP, and I'm going to get the Mastery Badge. So we are in an assault game, and I'm on the assaulting team. I really haven't played this map enough to have a solid strategy. You can see that we did spot a tank. Luckily, it's a light tank. That's always a good sign. You want to know where the light tanks are. You want them out of the game. If it were a slow tank that I had spotted, then it may lead me to believe that there's a hidden light tank out there. You notice that I'm advising my allies, go as far northwest as you can get. And I said, sorry, northeast. I made a mistake. I meant northeast. And we kind of knows, we know that there's something wrong with the enemy defenses. The enemy is not defending. And look at what I said in the chat. We got this game. It's 0-0. And I already knew we're going to win this game. The score is going to be like 15-2. The only reason why they're going to get those last 2 kills is because we're going to suicide in to clean up. You know, it's going to be a mad rush for that damage. Now, the Charioteer is telling me to go spot. I'm telling my team, please keep going east. We've only got 2 snipers on the east side. They need to move into a better position, and I'm advising them that I will spot when everyone's in a good sniping position. Those guys like the Leo and the Black Prince and the IS-6 and the Pantera, they should have moved immediately. They can see that the enemy did not go into the town, and you can see that we have coverage in the south. So we know that the enemy is stuck in that corner. Now that the Leo and the P-44 Pantera have advanced, I'm finally going to advance. The Black Prince and the IS-6 are going to miss out. One of these tanks, either the Charioteer or the Challenger, one of them is going to get like 2,000 damage, and he's going to be the high damage gun in this game. So you notice I'm going through the bushes. You want to stay amongst the bushes as much as possible. We're probably going to find an early target. There he is, and look at what it is, an SPG, the dumbest player on the enemy team. Why would he play in that position, knowing that that flank is completely undefended? So I keep on advancing. It's so easy to advance across here. I got the binocs, and look at what we see. You start to see a lot of tanks. Finally, my IS-6 and Black Prince are slowly advancing, and we're taking these tanks out. We got 6.5 minutes. And I'm probably going to get all this spotting damage. Look at all that spotting damage I'm going to get. It's already 3-0. $4-0. I got 2,500 spotting damage. 30 seconds have elapsed. So that's, and look what I'm saying. Everyone send this game to Jingles. Because I knew this was going to be a killer game. I'm up to 3,500 spotting damage. The score is 5-1. We lost our AMX, I'm sorry, the AMD, the wheeled vehicle that was in that direction already died. I could have advanced further, but I have a philosophy. Once you spot tanks, wait until those tanks are dead before you advance. Now that they're dead, I'm up to 5,500 spotting damage. The score is 9-1. Now I'm going to advance. Don't risk advancing if you're still spotting tanks. The score is 10-1. I'm probably going to stop. I could have easily just kept on going, but that's not the proper playing style. Score is 11-1. Now we're going to go scout out the rest of the enemy team. This replay is on WOTreplays.eu, I believe. And you can see my replay. You can see my sniper who got 2,000 damage. And you can see one of the enemy tanks. He also put his replay up. So I got my first kill. I should have stayed up there. It was dumb for me to go down. I missed some damage by going down below. You see what that was? Look how close I was and I missed that shot. Happens all the time. I really don't like it. I think there's something wrong with the game. And that's the game. 15-2. I did... the game reports 7,200 spotting damage. It was actually more like 7,750. I did at least 250 damage. And that was the game. This tank is the Type 61. This is a Japanese Tier 9 medium tank, and the map is Minsk. I'm going to get 3,600 spotting damage in this game. But what's interesting is the way I'm going to do it. It's very difficult to passively spot in this game on this map, but I found a way to do it. There's different ways to do it, and I've tried different ways, and there's one that is way better than the other. We'll get to it as we approach that time. Okay, so he didn't spot me. I'm safe for me to shoot at him. He didn't react for some reason. Looks like he wanted to die. I don't know. I believe that was a game where a helicopter flew overhead. Yeah, helicopters. What I think is going to happen in this game is that I'm actually going to be spotting from the enemy territory. And you can actually go deep into enemy territory without being spotted, even with a large medium tank. I'm already up to 911 spotting damage, which was based on 2 hits on that T-49. So they lost their light tank early in the game. Got a tank going across there. Did not... Oh, he did get spotted. It's going to be a little bit slow. I'm going to advance a little bit. You can actually play in this position. I've had mixed results. But if your enemy is in a good position, they can really destroy you when you're playing here. We're going to get to that spotting position soon, so please be patient. Got a little bit of indecisiveness. You want to limit the amount of indecisiveness. Okay, so I decided to go under the tunnel. Got some bushes over here. Taking a look around. I don't have binocs. I think I could have hit that tank, but I missed. Yeah, I missed my shot on that tank. You notice that most of the enemy team is on the east side. And I'm coming up with a plan. It's a method that I never used before. Always hope that my allies do the damage, because I want to do a spotting tactic. So we got some spotting damage on the STRV and also that T-54E1 that I ricocheted off of in the beginning. I'm sure these tanks know that they're spotted, which is why they're driving a little bit erratically. You notice that there's tanks behind me that I can shoot at. Looks like a Yag Tiger. Maybe the other one was a Tortoise. Oh, just barely missed him. I'm up to 1,500 spotting damage. You see the enemy is advancing. I believe, from this position, I do damage on tanks where that particular tank is at Conqueror. However, if they reposition, they can definitely avoid you. Okay, so I got spotting damage on the Conqueror. I got 650. And then I thought, hey, look at all these bushes over here. I'm up to 2,100 spotting damage. Look at how I can just advance into the enemy territory just by going through these bushes. We could probably spot the enemy SPG if I get close enough. You really got to trust the minimap. If it looks like the enemy's on the other side of a building or the other side of a hill, trust the minimap when you make your advance. That is one of the reward tanks, with the one with the 4 tracks on it, if you do the second campaign. And look, I spotted an object 261, which means he probably just fired his gun. Now I'm in a position where I really don't want to move. Unfortunately, I did not get spotting damage on the T-54E1, but I did get 99 on that reward tank. Scores 5-6. We're in a pretty good position. If he were on low hit points, I would absolutely kill him. Or if I get spotted, I would kill him. So he's out of the game. You'll notice that everybody got me very quickly because, there's a delay in the spotting mechanism. The T-54E1 reversed. I got spotted. I was notified 2 seconds later. I damaged that object 261 with lucky shot. He's out of the game. The score is 7-6. I'm up to 3,000 spotting damage. So you notice I turn the auto aim on and off. I'm constantly turning it on and off, and I decide to fire based on if the auto aim works for me, I'll fire. If not, I'll shut it off and fire and then turn it back on. My gun is always pointing at an enemy for many reasons. Okay, so I got up to 3,600 spotting damage and 1,300 damage. I wanted to show how easy it is to advance through. If you have a small light tank with good camo, you're probably going to be undetected. This tank is a WZ-120. This is a Chinese Tier 9 light tank, and the map is Ghost Town in the Assault Defend mode, and I'm on the defending team. I haven't played this map very often, and it had a lot of changes since many years ago. So I don't know the ideal spotting position. I'm still kind of scouting it out. I'm going to get 2,600 spotting damage, and one of my allies is actually going to thank me for what a great job I did spotting. There is going to be an issue where they're going to kill my commander. I don't have a first aid kit, and it's really going to hurt my spotting ability. However, I am pretty sure that we're going to have such a good game that it won't have that big of an impact. This is not a great spotting position. I'm just checking it out. If you know the way I play, you know that I like to play more advanced positions, but I really have to find them first. So I decided I would try a different position. I wasn't happy with that one. Already got some spotting damage. So over here we kind of have a position. A lot of my game is going to be played from this area. You can see that I was spotted. I'm a little bit concerned about that. You want to... spotting, they tell you don't fire your gun, but as you get better, you want to learn to spot and snipe. Because you spot them for 8 seconds, and while they've got that 8-second timer going on, you're going to hide and reload. I'm up to 300 spotting damage, 500 damage. So he hit my gun, I repaired it, because I plan on firing, and we're at a long range. There is artillery in the game. I could easily be hit. Because I'm a light tank, I'm often the first one spotted, which means that the enemy is going to always be firing at me. Up to 1,000 spotting damage. Spotted a few more tanks, the T-128, the Scorpion, the J-Panther 2. You see the Kanan and Jagdpanzer. I believe he's the one behind me who's doing all the damage, and he's the one who thanked me after the game. And I have no idea if I'm spotted right now. You see that was a shot from him that ran in. I don't know if there's an ally with him. I'm going to guess that I'm not spotted. See, another shot went in, 527 damage. I don't like to just sit when there's nothing going on. I get really bored really fast, so I actively seek out trouble. Now, obviously, if I'm playing in a clan battle, which I have done before, I'm going to play with the proper style. I would just sit there and wait. But I play for fun. I don't play to as if I'm winning a prize or something. Okay, so for some reason I decided to leave. It wasn't the best decision. I think it's because I either decided to help my allies, or I thought that I was getting under a little bit too much pressure, or I wasn't happy with the spotting that was going on. Luckily, I blocked that Scorpion. I got some more spotting damage on that VK. It was only 113. Or maybe I wanted to see if there was a different way I could spot some of those tanks. Got 427 spotting on the Scorpion G. I think it's going to be pretty soon I'm going to lose that commander. Yeah, look at that. Too bad I missed. My shot was a little high. Okay, so there's a WZ in that bush. There is where I lose the commander and I'm screwed. And maybe I don't think I told the Kanan and Yagpanzer what was going on because I was a little bit embarrassed. And I told him after the game, so I didn't mention it during the game. I thought, okay, I can't really do very much. The only way I'm going to be able to spot now is if the enemy gets very aggressive and I spot an open field. And I do believe that we did win this game. Up to 2,000 spotting damage. See, we got the T-28 coming across. Let's see what happens. Maybe he has Eagle Eye and he knew I lost my commander. I don't know, but he's out of the game. That's all that matters. Unfortunately, I did not get the spotting damage for that loss. The score is 6-8, so now we're back in the game. I know that I'm not going to spot anything. Oh, you know what? I got binocs. I seem to recall that that's what happened. I realized, oh, I got the binocs, so I can do something here. Kept getting spotted. Every time I went around there, I got spotted. And that was a game for me. I did get up to 2,600 spotting damage, 1,400 blocked by armor, 500 damage. Let's move on to the next video. This tank is the E50. This is a Tier 9 German medium tank. The map is Malinovka. I'm going to get 5,500 spotting damage in this game. And it's going to show you that even with a rather large tank, you can do a lot of spotting damage. I already spotted the enemy light tank, and he didn't spot me. And he's dead. Okay, so in the past, I talked about the E50, and I described it as a horrible tank. I believe it has 3 engines. Once you get up to the higher powered engine, which might be 1,200 horsepower, the tank is actually a lot more fun to play. So if you do get it and you don't like it, it does have a very good reputation. It's popular. You really need to get that engine in order to fully enjoy it. Okay, so I'm going to get 5,500 spot damage. Because it's a large tank, you really can't go to a traditional spotting position in order to spot. I'm going to guess, not knowing what's going to happen in this game, I'm probably going to go to the red line, and my team is probably not going to go to the hill, and I'm probably going to spot the enemy as they're trying to come down that hill. That's what I expect to happen. Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward more. Okay, I see that there's something wrong with the strategy that my team is playing. And I'm not saying that you can't have a successful strategy by not going to the hill, but what I'm saying is people don't know what that strategy is. So they're just going to goof around and they're not going to play properly. And it might be just with a stroke of luck that we end up pulling it through. So maybe my team is going up the hill. It looks like they're slowly starting to make their way up the hill. One thing about this position, obviously, is that I could keep an eye on that STA-2. I won't be able to spot him, but I'll be able to damage him. Now, how much support can you really do over here? Obviously, you have to have an aggressive enemy team in order to do any damage. I doubt that this is a high penetration gun. In general, the German guns are a little bit more accurate. They aim a lot better. The gun handling is better, but that doesn't mean higher penetration or more damage or anything like that. I don't believe we have strong support on the hill. But we do have strong snipers. So obviously what the people on the hill should do is they should try to draw the enemy out. Try to go, what you do is you go up and you get yourself spotted and you tease the enemy and bait them and get the enemy to try and come after you, and then you have your allies and nail them. Looks like that's what the Bat Chat is doing. He's going up to spot, allowing himself to be spotted, and then he's running away. Now, even though I got a red indicator, I'm still going to fire because I have a lot of rounds, and there's always a chance that because of the RNG, you might hit that weak spot. Sometimes it happens. I've got 291 spotting damage. You want to track him. Okay, so there's an example where I hit him in the right spot and I was able to do damage even though you see a lot of red indicators. Wow, the enemy team is starting to advance. They're getting cocky. So I was going for that lower plate. I missed. We're losing 1-6. Tracked him. Only got 350 damage. I lost some good allies. You know, we had... I'm pretty sure there was at least one more tank next to me. I'm not sure. So now I go into a spotting position and look at that 946 spotting damage on that tank. I believe that someone is going to see, you see how that shot went in right next to me? They're going to start taking blind shots. The enemy strategy, they're not going to come down that hill. What they're going to do is they're going to bail over the side. I've seen it in multiple games. You can see there he goes. He's ditching over the side. It's the right strategy for him. In fact, I saw multiple games in the same week. I'm already up to 3,100 spotting damage. The STA-2 is still alive. Score is 2-7. Notice that I'm not spotted. And I'm concerned that my allies are not firing. If they can't hit his frontal armor, they should fire high explosive rounds at his frontal armor. Someone just nailed him for 400 damage. And look at that gun. Look at what he's doing. You see that? He knew that I might be spotting from here, so he fired over here. And look at that. There's another random shot. They're going after me. I think we're going to see some more shots come in. Now, that's when I got concerned. I said, there's got to be something wrong. You know, how did that guy hit me like that? And okay, so you notice that I moved back and they missed a random shot. So then I started thinking, okay, they just got lucky twice in a row. 2 out of 5. And I'm still alive, and that's what matters. The score is 2-8. I got 3,800 spotting damage. Now, the proper thing to do would be to go forward, spot again, reverse again. But everything that happens at this point is going to be a risk. Okay, you spot a tank, you go back, you see another random shot that was probably aimed at that tree in front of me. Got 792 damage, 938 damage on the 50 TP. Did a lot of damage. Another wild shot, another random shot at the bushes. They don't know that I repositioned. Trying to help my team out. Too bad I got a ricochet. I don't know if the 907 is the 257, I believe, is the V-shaped hull. I'm not sure. I don't know what the 907 is. I have a high ping time, so I like to use the auto aim. As long as it penetrates, I use it. If I need to do it manually, I will. Another tank bails over the side. We're in a tough position. It's 3-2. I'm up to 4,800 spotting damage. Now, in this type of case, I'm sure that there's somebody who's a hero who could kill the remaining 12 tanks. But as you can see, not in the cards for me. So I did get up to 5,500 spotting damage. Unfortunately, we're going to lose this game. This tank is the AMD 178B. This is a French Tier 6 light tank. It's a wheeled vehicle. The map is Mannerheim Line, used to be known as Arctic region. I'm still new to playing these vehicles. I'm going to show you some spotting on this map. I did not record the amount of spotting damage, so it's probably not going to be that much. I wish that there were great spots to hide over here. You can actually hide in some of those bushes, but you really need a really small tank to hide in the smaller bushes. So you can see I was spotted. Luckily, it's very easy to get out of here. I'm not good at driving the wheeled vehicles. I've got a little bit of learning to do. As you can see, there's an unspotted tank who was able to take a shot at me. So I'm just moving enough to hide from him. I don't want to put myself into more danger than necessary. But look at this. From here, you got a great spotting position. So I can spot. The enemy has to cross through here, and they're not going to come here. You know, this is a great spotting position. And you know, he's obviously unaware that I'm right in front of him. You see, there's an OI. He got spotted and he reversed, afraid to cross the gap. And I have no sniper support. The lack of sniper support is going to prevent me from getting spotting damage over here. But look at that. All those tanks are being spotted. If I had snipers up on either of those sniping positions to the south of me, then those tanks would be taking damage. So we got two. Look how close I am to the OI and how much damage. He took 700 damage. I only got 250 out of it. One of the things about the game that I really don't like. Yeah, that OI's got problems. Looks like I may have gotten only half of the spotting. No, I got the full spotting damage on the hit. I could easily take him out of the game right now. I let him live. Now, what you can do, well, what you could have done is wait until he gets behind the rock, hit him in the rear when only his rear is showing, and you can shoot at him without him spotting you because he spots from his gun. Okay, so now it's going to be a little bit more difficult to spot those tanks. We do have a sniper that showed up, which is the Hellcat. I got all of my spotting damage on that OI, but I'm really convinced that this is a good spotting position. I'm surprised that other people aren't playing it. I was also convinced that this is one of the dumbest players in the world right here. Why would he do that? That was just really dumb. Okay, it looks like he did need to move. His base is being invaded, but he did go a little bit too far. One of the key indicators as to know when you're going through a dangerous place is if you see a lot of dead allies, like a dead OI in front of you with no enemy tanks nearby, that's a sign not to cross over. I really hated that that happened. Okay, so the score is 7-4. It reports in-game 886 spotting damage. What's important is that we saw a great spotting position with the proper sniper support that's really going to work out. You're going to get some good games out of it. This tank is the E50. This is a German Tier 9 medium tank. The map is Malinovka. I'm going to do some spotting in this game. In earlier videos, I said that I did not like playing this tank. Once I upgraded it to the more powerful engine, which I believe is the third engine, 1200 horsepower, the tank is playable. You can see I'm over 50 kilometers. It's a 5-10 matchmaking game, and I am in the higher tier. However, there's nothing special about this tank that's going to give you any magical armor. The gun isn't that great. Unfortunately, let's see. I think I can penetrate most of the enemy team. Now, I want to play. I don't like to brawl. And there's a couple reasons why. One of them is my 300 millisecond ping time. So I'm more likely to do spotting, especially if we haven't spotted the enemy team. I don't like to sit around and wait with nothing to do. I don't like it when my allies are doing nothing. Let's speed it up a little bit here. How am I going to turn this into a spotting game? Okay, so we have no one at the base, and I'm a little bit concerned about that. And I thought, okay, well, the T-44 looks like he's heading back towards base. I decided to dip down into this area. You can get closer to the enemy territory by progressing along this cliff. People know about this, but I rarely see anybody do it. I've done it so many times. You do got to be careful, because if you are confronted by the wrong enemy player, you see, here's an example where I have to deal with that tank. If I don't deal with that tank, I'm screwed and my plan will fail. But I know what to do. It's basically sit here until that guy's dead. One way or another, that guy's got to die. Taking a lot of damage. I got 934 damage. I'm sorry, 934 spotting damage. There were two hits on the Su-130PM and 2 hits on the T-49, somewhat equal. So I got about 650 spot damage on each. Now we know that there's 2 tanks over there I got to worry about. I could sneak my way around. I got spotted, which means it's not safe. There's somebody watching me. Now we got another tank we got to worry about. That was a risky shot. And he's out of the game. Look at that. I did 957 spotting damage, was it? 3 hits on that Centurion plus the damage I did. He's out of the game. That's a game changer. You see, I noticed that the Progetto moved. He switched positions, and the position he chose is an assault attack position. It was a really dumb move for him. He's safer by being far away from me. Look at that. He's being nailed. I could easily put my frontal armor against him, take him out of the game. I don't want my rear armor pointed towards him. I should have turned my tank around. You see what these other tanks are doing? Not the brightest. Don't have that good rear depression. Because they came at me 2-on-1, obviously their strategy did work at 6-4. My team is winning. Let's see if we got any more spotting damage. A little bit more. Okay, so I got up to 2,500 spotting damage, and I had 1,100 damage. This is a pretty good game, and I got 1 kill on my own, and I led to at least 2 other tanks being killed, the Su-130PM and the Centurion 1. Let's see how these guys are doing. Oh, you know what? They're unspotted now, but they're on low hit points. Those other tanks are on low hit points. They did the right thing, but guess what? Look at what's going on the hill. They allowed my team to take the hill. They're on virtually no hit points. The T-49 is not doing that great. The enemy team has 3 SPGs. The enemy team is not in a good position. They might have 1 tank that's definitely on full health. Okay, let's move on. This tank is the AMD 178B. This is a French Tier 6 light tank. It's a wheeled vehicle. The map is Ruinberg. I am new to playing these vehicles, so I really don't drive them very well. I don't have a great strategy. I do have some problems with the auto aim. But I am going to get 2,300 spotting damage in this game. And let's see how I go about doing that. I have a video called Anti-Scouting, and if you watch my anti-scouting video, it's from a long time ago, you will see how to dominate scouting on maps like this, active scouting. and it's something that I've never seen anyone else ever do or talk about. So it's a very important video. What I do is I mirror what the enemy does. I watch them on the mini-map. If they go east, I go east. If they go north, I go north. When they crest a hill, I crest a hill, but I make sure that they get there first, so then when I'm hitting them, I hit them from behind when their guns are pointed away, etc., and it really works. Okay, so one of the things you want to do when you're spotting is you want to try to run between the buildings as much as possible. I've got that 6 spotting damage so far, which is putting me up at the top of the pack. Missed a shot on that Crusader. When I saw that Crusader, I was like, oh, this is a low-tier game. I loved playing the Crusader. It was I really enjoyed that tank when I played 5 years ago. I don't know why I stopped. You want to avoid stopping in the game. So I got my next spotting damage on the T-34, which was 76 spotting damage. How you doing? One of the things that you really need to do when you play these wheeled vehicles or any light tank is be hypersensitive to where the other objects and other tanks are on the battlefield. So I use the mini-map to I guess not in this particular case. I use the mini-map to keep an eye on what's going on. It will get very crowded. Oh, come on, these guys are suckers. They're suckers. You see, that turret spins around too slowly. Go through the buildings, get behind those buildings as much as possible, or you're dead. Got 17 hit points left. I don't know why I'm still alive. I can't believe they haven't killed me. You know what? I didn't write down the spotting damage. I don't think I got... Did I say 2,300 for this game? It reports 979. Maybe I got 2,300 in this game. I got 1 kill. You know, it wasn't that interesting of a replay, but the score is 12-1. And the reason why I was so aggressive and I didn't care about my hit points anymore is because the score is 12-1. And if you don't go in there to try and get those last shots, and your allies are just going to eat them up.